Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today is Best of 3 Day, and I'm actually going to be adapting a subscriber deck that was submitted to me quite a little bit of time ago, and we did actually feature on the channel. It was the Naya Aggro deck, and I'm going to be switching it out a little bit, a few minor tweaks here and there, but I'm trying to keep the basics of the deck intact. So the idea of the deck, submitted by Cimeres, by the way, so thank you for submitting the original deck list. The idea behind the deck was to justify running Tome of the Guildpact, which is a 5-mana artifact. It says whenever you cast a multicolored spell, draw a card, and it can also be used as a mana rock, which is nice. If it didn't have that mana ability, it would be completely unplayable in my opinion. So that's kind of nice. And then also Rien, Angel of Rebirth, which was the M20 Buy a Box promo. So I imagine not many of you, if any of you, have actually got this card in your collection. But it's 2 and Naya colors for a 5/4 flyer. It says other multicolored creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever another multicolored creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So you can get the idea. We are going to be playing a multicolors matter deck, and we're going to be trying to do it in an aggressive fashion. It does have a little bit of a mid-rangey kind of style to it, so I'm not sure if you could call this aggro, but it's certainly capable of doing that. It could also do the long game, which I guess means that it's a mid-range deck, but you know, Tome of the Guildpact is kind of like our only long game potential with this one, short of us just having like a pretty easy to rebuild kind of board. We're running Hero Precinct 1 as the new addition. 1 and a white for a 2/2 whenever you cast a multicolored spell, which is every card in our deck minus lands and Tome of the Guildpact. You get to create a 1/1 white human creature token. With that, you could probably also add Ajani the Great-Hearted to the list, which is a Selesnya Walker, 5 loyalty. The -2 is the one that we're going to be leveraging the most here. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. The loyalty, not so relevant, mostly because the other planeswalker is Domri and it doesn't have an ult, which could be quite nice, but oops. The ability to fight is also pretty nice, so if we do end up adding enough loyalty counters, then we can fight and fight again the next turn without much trouble either. We do have Huatley's Raptor in here, so in addition to the multicolored synergy, we also do have a +1/+1 counter synergy. Huatley's Raptor is a Selesnya 2/3 with Vigilance, so pretty decently started for a creature, but then it also has an ETB, which allows us to proliferate, which means we can get to put an additional counter of any counter that's currently on a permanent. So if our cards have a +1/+1 counter on them, then we get to put an additional +1/+1 counter. If they have a loyalty counter, then we get to put an additional one on, which is pretty sweet. We can apply +1/+1 counters outside of Ajani using the Riot effect on the Zertar Goblin and the Gruul Spellbreaker, as well as Night of Autumn on the modal ability. It gets to put some counters there. And in addition to that, we also have Domri's Ambush, which is one of our removal spells for the deck. Gruul colors for a sorcery, put a counter on a creature you control, then that creature deals damage equal to its power to a creature or planeswalker you don't control. So we actually have Domri's Ambush and Thrash Threat as our creature and planeswalker removal, so really versatile, and we're even including some main deck artifact and enchantment removal as well. So we should be able to at least put up with a lot of whatever's in the format at the moment with our removal suite as it stands. We'll have to see. Mostly we're just trying to smoke, so the more smoking, the better. And that's essentially the deck. The mana base speaks for itself. It's mostly shocks and checks. We've got 1 forest in here just in case of Assassin's Trophies and Field of Ruin. We'll have to see. They don't show up too much, but you never know. But yeah, moving on to the sideboard. Grafdigger's Cage against all of the wonderful, wonderful Command the Dread Hordes and Bolas' Citadels and Experimental Frenzies of the Magic the Gathering format. Creatures cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield, and players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries, so it shuts out a lot of stuff. I will say that Naya actually does have like the better selection of hosing kind of sideboard cards. So we've got access to Grafdigger's Cage, which is colourless, of course. Sorcerer's Spyglass to lock down certain planeswalkers if we don't like what they're doing. Also activated abilities on enchantments, artifacts, whatever we feel like locking out. Sorcerer's Spyglass is there to help out. 3 fairy to stop us from having our Blood Sun bounced in, like the Manscape Shift matchup is one of those things. Blood Sun, speaking of. 2 and a red for an enchantment. Enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and then all lands lose all abilities except for mana abilities, so we can kill Field of the Dead. Also means our shock lands come into play on tap, so it actually has a little bit of an added bonus to our deck. We can actually play a little bit more aggressively. We don't have to shock these in and lose 2 life. We can just play them out. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, an extra thrash threat against the creature matchups, as well as hitting Planeswalkers. Cindervines against the Nexus lists. Whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to that player, so it locks out infinite loops. We also have additional artifact and enchantment hate in the 1 activation there. We do have some more Night of Autumns. It's probably a little bit overkill on the artifact and enchantment plan, but we can also use these as a source of life gain against aggressive decks as well, so it's one way to justify keeping them in. I've kind of torn between Cindervines and Night of Autumn, because obviously this locks out Nexus of Fate loops, and Night of Autumn doesn't. But Night of Autumn actually just deals with the artifacts and enchantments much better than Cindervines does, so there's a little bit of a trade-off. Maybe it should be 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 2. Not so sure. Tristani against the aggro matchups makes 2 1/1s, which are actually 2/2s with lifelink, and goes wide, which is pretty sweet. And Rien against the board-wide strategies, because the second ability there actually returns creatures that die back to our hand at the beginning of the next end step. So if they have a Kaya's Wrath in their deck, we just play down Rien, and we are almost board wipe proof. We have to rebuild, of course, but we basically lose nothing, which is pretty sweet. Without further ado, let's get into the games. I'm going to be taking this one into the traditional constructed, so not the ranked one. I'm not entirely sure if this is ranked worthy, so, you know, I don't really want to come across some tier 1 decks with this one, but, you know, 1 tier 1 deck here and there would be nice to see, I suppose. But before we end off the deck tech, if you want to hit that like button, it does help the channel out a great deal. Lets me know that you're enjoying the content. If you want to support the channel a little bit further, you can subscribe, join the Patreon. Link down to that is in the description below. It's completely optional, though I do greatly appreciate those who do that. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and let's get into the gameplay. Alright, we're in, and we got Gruul-coloured mana and pretty much a Gruul-coloured hand. It's a shame Domri doesn't add white, but yeah, we can take this hand. This seems perfectly fine. If we get 1 land, we're in a wonderfully golden state, and Zertar can hopefully just pick off whatever our opponent plays. Being on the play, or being on the draw against the turn 1 Llanowar Elves is less than ideal. Means we basically can't stop whatever this is ramping into. Especially since we have to play Zertar first before our ambush. It's just going to be too slow on the draw, unfortunately, but you never know. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can just, like, kill the turn 3 Nissa that they're going to ramp into. Wildgrowth Walker, eh? Alright, well, we get a Huatley's Raptor, which is awful. And let's get down a 3/3. So that if they do have just 1 explore creature, then we can Domri's ambush the Wildgrowth Walker away. Looks like he's dying. And this hand just suddenly looks very bad. Legion's End. Alright, well, they know our entire contents of our hand and how unplayable it currently is. And we'll see what we can do from there. If we don't draw a land, this game's already over. We need, like, runners of lands, and one of them needs to be a white source. Our opponent's threat base isn't crazy, though. And neither is that draw, so pass the turn. I don't think this hand was a bad hand to keep. We literally just needed a bad coin flip, and we were in a good spot, and, I mean, we're kind of there now. You're going to go up to 4, so if they explore, they're going to kill Domri. Alternatively, I don't think there is much of an alternative. I think we kind of have to go for the Domri. Because we're shocking ourselves just to play something, so we're going to be dodging a little bit of damage by Domri taking it instead. The Raptors get a little bit better, though not great, and we can do, hopefully, Spellbreaker plus Ambush next turn. Something like that would be quite nice. I don't know. I'm clutching at straws at this point, if it's not immediately obvious. Swamp, and Domri lives. Alright. Please give me a check land or a basic. I'm tired of shocking myself. It's pretty painful, not gonna lie. Alright, well, Zertar is at least something that I can Domri's ambush with. So let's go with green, I guess. Red, doesn't really matter.
We won't answer the guilds.
Let's go Zertar Goblin. Bring him up a little bit bigger. And let's just go with, I think, the Domri's ambush. We could actually like Huatley's Raptor for more blockers. But I kind of like the idea of getting Wild Growth Walker out of the way while they don't have any explore creatures, clearly. I don't know if they've got any removal, so if they've got removal, then Raptor's just better. Yeah, and I'd like to get rid of the Llanowar Elves, but obviously that's not really an option either. So we'll see. I mean, next turn, if we draw a land... you did it. You did it, you hurt my feelings, opponent. Alright, well...
You'll see.
You'll see. I'll get him, chat. I'll get him. Alright, we got a land. That's cool. So I'm going to get a counter on so the Raptor can actually do something. We can do like double Huatley's Raptor for a +2/+2 effect. No, never mind. This looks like old school Golgari mid-range, which is interesting. That's for true. Could play a Rian and take myself to 7. It's not great though. I could Knight of Autumn and then Raptor. Take myself to 7, but then we'd have 2 blockers, which are good blockers as well. They must be running out of removal some point this year. I think we'll try that. They can't just keep running removal, right? Yes, they absolutely can. Alright, let's try it. If this works out, we've got a Rian next turn with some pretty decent threats. My goodness, are you lining up removal? I hate you. I hate you so much. Oh my god, and I've pulled my only basic out of my deck already. So I've just been well and truly blown out. This is not going well at all. Alright, they're getting in. We're gonna block the damage we can block. And then hope we can get somewhere with it. Okay. So if I play Rian and they have removal, we lose. If they don't have removal, then we're okay, I guess. I don't know. Is it even worth the risk? We can just do double Huatley's Raptor for no value and... I guess these aren't looking too crazy right now, so let's just get them out there. With a less than ideally stacked hand, I think I'll just take the 2/3s that can block everything. Hopefully we can stabilize. I mean, we turn them into 3/3s with Rian next turn. They got the Jade Light Ranger. And Bolas's Citadel. Interesting. Well, now I'm on chump block, good block, take damage duty. Although they want a 1/1 a Wild Growth Walker, I'm fine for that if you don't want Bolas's Citadel to do anything good. Bolas's Citadel really needs explore creatures, specifically Wild Growth Walker. So this is a very, very bad idea, opponent. Very bad. Unless they're really lucky, yeah. Okay. See the writing on the wall. They go for the Field of Ruin, which is actually a strip mine. So I best get down the card that I won't be able to cast later. And I guess I passed the turn. There's really not much to it. I can block with a Raptor, which Rian brings back to my hand. And then I can do Spellbreaker with Riot, counter. and then proliferate, but honestly, I think the game's already over. Because they've got their combo assembled. They just had an answer to us every single step of the way, and their combo's just not even struggling either. So, explore creature. Do me. This needs 10 permanents. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 non-lands, specifically. So they need 2 more permanents off the top, and they can kill me right on the spot. Strip Mind! Woo! Yep, okay, you got me. Maybe I need more basics in my deck. And we're dead. Alright, next game. You got me. Alright, against this deck, how do we want to do this? We could take some more Thrash threats, I suppose. It takes care of Nissa. We do really need to answer Bolas's Citadel. Unfortunately, Sorcerer's Spyglass can only really stop them using the tap effect. And through that, basically, our opponents are just going to be able to kill us with the creatures they put out. However, Grafdigger's Cage, creature cards in graveyards and in libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards and libraries. So let's just shut off the old Citadel right now, shall we? And I might bring in the Knight of Autumns for the life gain and also for the ability to just murder. It's going to be pretty good. Rien's not looking particularly amazing, especially since they're kind of planning on just like strip mining me quite a lot. Need the mana from the Domri. The hero tokens are pretty good. I guess we go down 1 Ajani. Probably 1 Knight of Autumn, honestly. I don't think I need that much hate for it. It's 5 cards in my deck that just shut down the main combo piece of their deck, and then we'll just value them from there. Knight of Autumn's decent value, I suppose, but I like to keep my tome around. I'm trying to include cards that are bad, okay? Leave me alone. Alright, on the play, let's see. We've got turn 2 hero, turn 3 trigger from these guys. I'm going to keep this one. It's not like blown away kind of good, but it doesn't actually cost us any life to play most of the stuff that we're going to see off the top, so I'm happy with that. So, tap land go. Opponent's removal was very light. They had Assassin's Trophy on 2, and then it wasn't until they got to 4 when they had Ravenous Chupacabra that we really had anything to worry about. So if they do have like turn 1 Llanowar Elves, I'm going to want to hero and then Domri's ambush them around. We actually get double hero though, so we should be able to aggro them out quite reasonably. I wonder if they run any board wipes. Legion's End, are you... Well, at least we drew that. Well, that was painful. That was very painful. Okay. We got the forest in hand just in time for Field of Ruin. Oh, I want to die. I want to die so much. Alright. Domri's Ambush. Kill the Wildgrowth Walker. Go away. I mean, I might as well play the land they know about. Get him for 3. This could not have lined up more perfectly for our opponent. Double Field of Ruin. It's called double strip mine, honey. Noxious Grasp. Alright. Well, we drew Grafdigger's Cage, so I'm happy with that at the very least. There is hope for this game yet. Let's go with haste and start aggroing our opponent out. Trample on the Spellbreaker. Obviously a 1-1 for a 2-1 is not good value. But if they've got nothing better to do, they can literally kill my lands. Which is rough. I'm just holding one in hand just in case they've got like duress effects or anything like that. I doubt they will, to be perfectly honest, but you know. They're probably just going to strip mine me anyway. So what does my mana really matter? Alright, what horrible card have you got? You have a multitude of options, have you? Ah, Massacre Girl. Alright. Get rid of Spellbreaker. And we draw lands. Cool. Alright. This is painful. You ever wondered what being tortured looks like in reality? You're witnessing it. Right here. This is torture. I am being tortured. Send help. Alright, 7 damage. We get a bad card. I will play my land drop and pass the turn. I am not playing that into certain death. Would be okay if we still had any of our heroes. Jadelight Ranger, okay. Draws Citadel. It's a dead card, so yeah, they'll want to bin it. And another dead card, alright. Some good fortune for once. But they do have a 4-3 now, and some more 3-3s, so this game is just never happening. This game's well and truly over. Good God. Yeah. Oh boy. Dead next turn. Literally nothing I can draw that saves me. Literally nothing I can draw that saves me. Yep, that won't save me. And, well, let's pretend that never happened, shall we? And go to the next game. Alright, we're in, and on the play with a reasonable hand, actually. Turn to Hero of Precinct 1 into any one of our 3 drops is just fine. Domri makes 2 1s off the hero, which is pretty cool. I like that. I dig it. Let's just lead off with, I think, the Stomping Ground. Gruul's kind of our baseline with a splash of white here, so since we got the Sun Petal Grove, I'm happy with that. Zertar Goblin. Alright, well, let's get our engine piece into play and see what we can do. We just could actually end up going like Zertar Goblin and just playing tap lands. That way we don't have to shock ourselves. That'd be alright. Opponent on vampires, very clearly. Oh, Ajani. Oh, Ajani. You are just wonderful to see. Let's go with... I think we go with Gruul's Spellbreaker here. And the reason for that is we play our 3-drop next turn, this turn. Next turn we play Domri, Sacred Foundry, Zertar Goblin with the plus on Domri here. And then we've got a really good -2 on the Ajani. I think that's probably what we want. So let's get doing that, shall we? Gruul Spellbreaker, please. And we'll go with the haste here. I want to get in the damage. Cool. It's not going to matter too much that we don't have counters on our creatures for the proliferate, since the Ajani -2 should be doing that for us anyway. So, going nice and thick, it seems. I'm going to take you 2. I'm fine with that. Spare Ajani. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Let's play Domri. Give everything +1/+0. I honestly, I could use the fight, but I just don't know if I want to. I think I'll just rather do that. Get some red mana. Get the Zertar going. Let's do this one with maybe a 4-3. I don't think that would really make too much of a difference. I think I'll just go with the haste. And honestly, I think I might just swing. If they want to trade a Gruul Spellbreaker for a Spellbreaker, that's fine. Hero's done the job. Zertar is just whatever. I think I just want to get the pressure down. Yeah, cool. Works for me. You're at 8. And we got a pretty thick attack coming in next turn. We could double block these two here to keep Domri around. That would be reasonable. He is representing a lot of damage on board. If they do gain some life, however, though, pre-combat, then they're going to be able to kill Domri without any issue. Okay, well, trade one there. Domri goes to 1.
The first time I've been knocked about.
And let's see what you can do. So, is this just like mana-screwed vampires, or are they actually trying for mono-black? I think they're trying for mono-black. What the hell do you do? At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a counter on it. Okay. It's a shame we didn't have a land here, because we could have Huatli's Raptor and got some serious value, but this is fine. I mean, we're talking about value when this is happening right here.
Shall always conquer darkness.
That's just beautiful. Alright, let's go swinging first. We might want to fight post-combat with the Domri -2, but we want to make sure that we got the +1/+0 on his passive here first. Before anything, that is trample. Vampire of the Diamond does have Death Touch, but I just really don't care. Because you're dead. They actually could have lived by blocking with the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Or blocking mostly anywhere else. Alright, well, that worked out. Okay, against mono-black vampires. Night of Autumn isn't looking too great, honestly. Their Lord effects are in white most of all. There is a 4-mana Vampire Lord in black, but he's not particularly good because it's very expensive. So they could also have, I suppose, the 3-mana Icon of Ancestry, but I'm just not going to worry about that too much. I could go with the Tristani for a little bit of life gain. It's a nice stabilization tactic, maybe some Thrash threats. This actually is not a fight effect, which is very useful. Unlike the Domri -, which is very weird that this is a fight, and pretty much every other fight-related spell that's good has actually got this effect. Don't know why they do that, but there you go. I think we'll put in the Tristani. I don't think Sorcerer's Spyglass is going to be entirely necessary, although we could actually name their Sorin as a possibility. Active Graveyard Synergy, don't think is relevant, and obviously Blood Sun not doing too much there. So I think that's how we run this one. Just tweak the deck ever so slightly. Alright, it is a 1-lander and a tap land at that, so we just... The Sacred F! We found the Sacred F, guys! We did it. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. As much as it does have the greatest Sacred F of all time in it, I can't take it. Speaking of things that I can't take these mulligans. They are really bad. Oh boy. Alright, we're gonna keep 4. Let's get rid of Rien, because it's too expensive. A land, because I really need something. I think this is our hand. We just have to hope we draw multicolored 2-drops, or a 3rd land into a multicolored drop. I mean, we're going to go turn 2, turn 3, in theory, I guess, so... Thrash Threat's not too bad. That is a multicolored way of answering any of their threats. And we got Stomping Ground. Alright, this hand is actually shaping into something reasonable. Our opponent's playing slowly enough for us to actually stabilize. That's not great. Well, let's play the Hero Precinct 1. This is where Domri's Ambush is better, because we would have been able to pump into the Bloodthirsty Aerialist's range, but as it stands, we can't. If we draw a land, we can get down a Jarny and make 2 1/1s, which is going to be pretty sweet. I'm happy with that. Maybe gain some life. I'm not sure if we want to tick up or tick down. Obviously, if we do tick down, we're going to lose him. So we've got to weigh that option up. Alright, well, our options just aren't really there, honestly. So let's just Thrash Threat the Knight of the Ebon Legion for now. That's all we really can do. We could use Thrash at instant speed to trade 1-for-1. Or it's kind of 2-for-1ing ourselves, really, by doing that. I'm not into that idea. I think we'll just pass. Keep the heroes around for 1/1 shenanigans. Vindictive Vampire. Whenever another creature you control dies, drains. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright, so we finally get to answer one of the Bloodthirsty Aerialists, which I think is a very good idea, as opposed to the Vindictive Aerialist, which does drain us, of course, but I like the idea of getting rid of the flyers that we can't really deal with, and we can get in here. All I need is a land, and this hand goes way beyond what our opponent can do. Just give me an untapped land. Savage Gorger. So we lose life. It goes up to a 2/2. We do not draw a land. Alright, well, let's get in with our 3/3 again. This game's slowly getting away from us, but it's kind of to be expected when we went down to 4 cards from a series of horrible draws. I'm really regretting getting rid of the Sacred F, though. That's what I will say. Sacred F was something else. Alright. So now it's like land or bust, right? Rootbound Craig. Alright, we're doing it. So we can gain a little bit of life. But if they can... Oh god, we can't actually attack, can we? Because this, whenever they gain life, gets pumped up. If we block, then... Or if they block profitably with this Opportunists, I think they've just got us anyway. 4, 5, 6. If they draw a land, they can kill us. Yeah, alright. We have lethal here. Because they block, take 8. So we gotta go tick up for 3 life.
Do you see the benefits of peace?
And no attacks. I think we're just dead anyway because we're forced to block. That's kind of the problem. And they got the mana anyway, so Opportunist kills us. Wow. Wow. That's a thing, alright. Dying to a Vampire Opportunist. Has that ever happened in the Magic the Gathering history? I doubt it. But we're discovering new things here today. When we draw horrifically and die to some draft chaff. Alright. Well then, I don't think anything of our sideboarding was to be questioned. I think it was all perfectly fine. We didn't need the Knights, and we didn't need the additional Riens. I suppose we could for a flyer, but at turn 5 I don't think it's really a problem. We should be trying to kill them, all the creatures, and we just drew the wrong kind of fight spells. We should have drawn a Dromedary Ambush when we had a Thrash. We shouldn't have mulled to 4, and we should have drawn good cards. So let's see if we can improve on those things. I'm just surprised that we actually came back in the way that we did. It was actually as closer than it might first appear. Alright, we have no green, which is disturbing. But we do have a hero, Precinct 1. All we have to do is bad coin flip our way to a green source. No. No. Alright, this hand has the tiny Sacred Foundry. We'll keep the tiny Sacred Foundry, and I think we'll keep this hand. It's not great. It's very slow. But, yeah, let's put the big overcompensating Sacred Foundry to the bottom of the deck. And look at that. The tiny Sacred Foundry came out of its shell. Alright, tap land go. I guess we're going to tap land City all the way to the Spellbreaker and seeing if we can do something with that. Thrash, threat. Not too bad. Once we got the Spellbreaker down, if it lives long enough, which our opponent hasn't really shown us any removal. Child of the Night. When you start running things like Child of the Night, as much as I love this art is fantastic. As much as I love it, when you start getting into the territory where your deck restriction, being mono black, is forcing you to play cards like this, you should probably consider adding another colour, like white. By all means, though, try your hardest to make sure that you actually can have as few colours as possible, because then there's less room for drawing bad mana like ours. There's the Opportunist. My god. My god, the opportunity's here. Alright, what do we want to do here? Because we do have quite a few options. They've opened up a nice little blowout opportunity with the Thrash threat. If I attack and they double block, for an example, I can thrash one of them away and then we get rid of one. It's not amazing, but, you know, it's kind of a 2 for 1. Yeah, they're just going to let it go. That's fair. And, well, they've got 5 points, so I could actually go with an Ajani here, as long as they don't have a Lord effect. He lives, which works for me. Alright. If I'd have known they weren't going to block, obviously Ajani to give Vigilance to the Spellbreaker is much better. But I wanted the opportunity to make that happen. I mean, if my opponent has the opportunity, I should have the opportunity as well. Alright. Smorking my Ajani. And thank God we have the Domri's Ambush. Because we can still kill the Aerialist, so let's do that, shall we? Kill the Aerialist. And we'll go with a Zertar Goblin here with a counter. That way, if they want to kill Ajani, they're going to have to work for it. Vindictive Vampire. Alright, it's too late for that to actually make a big difference. Oh boy. There's a Rien. Pump up the dudes. And I think we'll just wait until we have Thrash Threat for the Vampire of the Diamoon. It doesn't feel worth it to trade off a death-touching 1/1 for a 6/5 with Vigilance and Trample and Hexproof. There's Sorin. Alright. So they can sacrifice with the second +1 to deal 3 damage to any target, so they could kill the Ajani or my Zertar Goblin, whichever one they decide to do, but they're going to have to trade off a creature for it. Just going to get the Vindictive Vampire into play. Not sure I agree with that line specifically, but power to you, I suppose. Alright, let's get rid of the Vampire of the Diamoon, and it doesn't really matter which one we go with, except for we probably should go for something that's not Rien, just in case they do have a 1-mana removal spell that I'm not thinking of. And therefore, if they kill this, it comes back to my hand anyway. So, get rid of the Diamoon Vampire. Drain us. Oh no. And we're gonna lose Ajani here. It's fine. I just want my opportunity to murder. And let's get rid of Sorin, and let's send some damage at face. Alright. This seems great. They do have a double Vindictive Vampire block on my Zertar Goblin, though. That is much better. But they haven't seen that. Alright. I'll take it. On my end step, my creatures come back to my hand, thanks to Rien. Very rarely comes up, but when it does, it's beautiful. We have enough blockers for their attackers now. We have enough attacks to make any life gain that they are obtaining here pretty pointless. Ooh, Domri. That's a good one. Domri. Whatever. Stick that down. We'll go for the counters for the Proliferate. And let's get in. This time, a triple block on Spellbreaker is not particularly good. But they're going for it. Okay. Well. They're at 9. They are dead next turn. Spellbreaker comes back to our hand. We're back up to 20. And yeah, our board state is very dominant. Ooh, they have the murder. Rien has finally bitten the dust. But, yeah, this one's not going to take very long. Let's just go with the haste this time. Start pushing out the damage. Because they might have a Vampire of the Diamoon. We don't really want to open that up as an option for now. And we're set up for an Ajani minus next turn, which is pretty sweet, without killing Ajani. And lethal is basically being presented. 5/5 Embodiment of Agonies. Well, we're trading. That's for sure.
Light shall always conquer dark.
Let's tick up.
What's that?
We're trading regardless of whether I minus, so I might as well plus. They have to block. They'll block the Spellbreaker. Take 5 down to 2. And we'll play a tap land, say go. See what we can do. They need removal or a blocker to stay in this game, and they don't have it. Alright. Not the most competitive of matchups, but, I mean, we managed to die to an opportunist, so, you know. I'll take that victory, because it was kind of worrying me, to be honest. But we got them. We got them, I suppose. Alright, let's go for another game. Alright, let's go on the play. We have a 3-lander with hero into knight with counters into Whiteley's Raptor, something like that. We could even Domri's Ambush the hero, so we have a counter to proliferate. So, yeah, I kind of like this hand. It's pretty sweet. It's always nice when you get the hero in your opener. And I probably shouldn't have gone with the Sacred Foundry there. Should have gone with the Stomping Ground. That's my bad. Hopefully I'm not punished for that. We'll see. A Boreal Grazer. So, if I had to guess, it's going to be a Field of the Dead deck. Alright, well, for now, let's just go with our Hero Precinct 1. Looks like I'm going to be punished for quickly throwing out a land without too much thought on that one. Thought Erasure, help yourself. Yes, they can take Domri's Ambush, so I can't deal damage. Yeah, sure. Fine by me. We'll go with the Knight of Autumn then. As Tome of the Guild pack, it would be lovely to work our way up to that. So let's go with the Knight of Autumn and stick some counters on it. 2 +1/+1 counters, please. And then if we draw a land, we can go Zertar Goblin into Whiteley's Raptor. Zertar probably with the Riot getting a counter so we can proliferate and make some thick bodies. Making some more 1/1s as we go, and then if we draw a land into like a Ajani, that's also going to be pretty sweet. Well, they found the removal for the hero, so that says goodbye to our human token plan. We did draw the land, so our dreams are coming true. Let's go with Zertar Goblin with a counter into Whiteley's Raptor, see if they got any removal. We'll see. Otherwise, we got some pretty decent proliferation here. There we go. And let's get swinging. Go, go, go. Another cast down. Assassin's Trophy. Well, today I don't have my forest in my hand or in play, so I actually get my land into Tome of the Guild Pact, which is very nice. So, yeah, just chumps the 1/1, as you should. It's possible, like, I should actually tone back on the shock and check lands. I mean, by the time that rotation comes around, that's certainly going to have to happen anyway. But I don't know. Not many people play Assassin's Trophy and Field of Ruin. It's just today we seem to have found them all. So it is what it is, I suppose. Right, well, we got to pass, because that is a death-touching Yarok. And a Cavalier. Alright. Double trigger. This game could be getting away from us, although with Tome of the Guild Pact, we might be in a good spot. They did get their Field of the Dead, so that's going to start triggering a million times over. Yeah. And we just get to start looking at their deck a little bit here while we slowly die. We could actually still stay in this game, since every single card in our deck is just a redraw. Yeah, like Thrash Threat. Doesn't really have a good target, unfortunately. So I think I'm just gonna like Thrash Threat and a Boreal Grazer or something like that. I probably should get rid of the damage dealers, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, let's just Thrash Threat you. Although if I went with... I don't think I want to kill Cavalier of Thorns, right? If I kill Cavalier, I give them all sorts of horrible stuff, including just more Cavaliers. So I'm really just not getting anywhere with that. I think I'll just kill a token, draw a card. I'm trying to set up this Whatley's Raptor to be a little bit more strong on the proliferate side. And it looks like I'm able to do that. Yeah, just do a Whatley's Raptor next turn, I think. Decent amount of blockers. We got a 1-1 for the 5-6. And then everything else just blocks the zombies profitably. I like it. Looks like they're going to go drawing a card with the Archer Rasker. Let's get rid of that, shall we? And an Arboreal Grazer. And no lands, of course. Of course, of course. And yeah, we're just getting into a nice little position now where we're just churning through the deck. Drawing cards, drawing cards, drawing cards. Eventually we'll get like Rian, so like any blocks are just going to be perfectly fine. Let's get a counter on this, just in case we get Whatley's Raptor, which we do. Counter there. This is beautiful. This is all I ever dreamed of. Oh my goodness, there's an Ajani. Let's proliferate a little bit. And do we start swinging in now? Is now the time to start swinging in? I almost feel like, short of them scape shifting, we should just probably just wait until Rian turns up and win with flyers. What do I give them if... What do they take if I kill their Cavalier? It's any card, right? Yeah. It's probably just another Cavalier into double land, and then we give them more Field of the Deads. It doesn't feel great, honestly. I think I might just keep passing. They just drew a Field of the Dead anyway. Better lucky than good. Alright, so they make 4 creatures a turn. I'm trying to do the same. Risen Reef, I'm sure hits something decent. Wow, it's just a draw 2. I expected to hit another Field of the Dead. Well, they got another Risen Reef. Never ends. Alright, 4 triggers. Okay. This is real bad. So, I mean, we did a cool thing. At the end of the day, I don't care what my opponent's doing. They're boring, we're cool. Me and you, chat, we're cool. Our opponent, they're boring, because they're doing a same thing. They're doing a thing we've seen before. This is new. This is new, and it was brought by a wonderful subscriber as well to my attention. I think we go with the Rian, right? Yeah, let's just go with the Rian. Hope for a land. Oh, yes. Which gives me this Ajani. Which draws me some cards. Which gives me a Domri, which is lovely. It's going to make my dudes huge massive. And now that we got Vigilance, now do we start swinging in? We got some 4/4s. I do kind of want all of these creatures back in my hand. But we're going to die. We're going to die real hard. Alright, well, I'm just going to swing because reasons. They got some good blocks, though. But if for some miracle we actually live through the turn, everything that dies gets to be played next turn. Which apparently includes a Whatley's Raptor to proliferate, which would be nice. Would be nice if we could enable that. Silver lining is once we get to sideboarding, we do have quite a few options in our deck to deal with the brunt of this list. We are actually running 3 copies of Blood Sun, which is very nice. Alright. I wonder if they go for the double blocks on anything. I wonder if they know how Rian works. They might want a double block anyway, because it's less blockers, but I don't know. I'm fine with it. A lot of stuff coming back. Right, well, we're getting one Whatley's Raptor back, if it matters. Somehow I'm doubtful. I'm very doubtful. There's 20 damage over there in zombie tokens alone. We'll see what they can do. Thought Erasure. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, oh, there goes Domri. Wow. No respect for the Whatley's Raptor. No respect at all. Yeah, I feel like this deck doesn't even do half of what it's done. Our opponent's deck, that is. Doesn't even do half of what it's done once we get the Blood Sun down. It's like none of the Field of the Dead tokens exist here, and look at the board state compared to... If you just ignore this bit here, this is what they're doing. You know? Putting lands into play that don't actually do anything except for ramp them into more mediocre creatures. I'm sure they'll probably have some sort of sideboard tech in their sideboard for an alternative game plan when Field of the Dead gets shut down. We'll have to see. Tis only a matter of time till we find out. Yeah, there's 4 more. You want to keep going? When do you want to stop? Blast Zone. Alright. Blast Zone on 2 is pretty grim. Just gonna put that out there. Blast Zone on 1 doesn't do anything though. And the next best is like Blast Zone on 5, which is pretty hard to obtain. We're getting ahead of ourselves because we're dead. They have Nexus of Fate in their deck. Wow. Okay. Well then. That's the thing. I forgot that they do that. Well. I'm doing this because I can. And because I'm sending a message to my opponent that I never quit. That you should never surrender, no matter how obviously you are dead. So how about that, opponent? What do you do now? Do you win? Is that what you do? Do you win now? Alright. Well, I'm going down on my terms. Conceding first. I killed more stuff than you did. I win. Alright. Let's go to sideboarding, shall we? And bring in all the Blood Suns. We want to see all of those. Do we have really another answer to anything in particular? We could knock out Tamio that we saw in the sideboard. In the main deck, sorry. Never saw them use it, though. But it is an option. Other than that, don't really know. I don't really know. The Knight of Autumns didn't seem particularly great. I could bring in the Tristani as like a go-wide strategy, I suppose. That's fine. Go down the Knight of Autumns. Go down. Maybe one Thrash Threat. And where do we go from there? Maybe a Tome or a Rien? Rien was interesting. I just realised as well, Rien wouldn't have been able to get past the Cavaliers because they do have reach. I always forget about that. Most people do, I feel. Let's go down on a Johnny. Let's like keep it low to the ground, I guess, and run with the Blood Suns. Let's find out if they want to actually commit to the the Field of the Dead plan, or if they want to go for an alternative. Because if I get their Blood Sun plan down, most of their deck doesn't do too much. The deck that we've seen, anyway. Sounds alright. Bit slow. I think I can take it, though. Tome of the Guild Pact is a nice little bit of a draw ability for us. I'm hoping that we can get there on 4 with the Domri. We'll see. I mean, they do have Thought Erasures, so fun could be over real quick. Opponent mulls. And keeps their 6. Alright, let's go with Stomping Ground tapped. And see what our opponent's gonna do. Somehow I doubt they're gonna be running Duresses, so I don't think I should expect that on turn 1. Ooh, Zertar Goblin. That's a nice draw. That's a nice boulder. Do we want to go with the +1/+1 counter? I think I pretty much do not, because if they do drop down their 0/3 Arboreal Grazer, Domri's just going to turn this into a 3/2 anyway, so let me get my damage in. The sooner I can get them on the back foot, the better, right? And it looks like we're shocking ourselves for a Domri, hoping for, oh my goodness, the Domri triple threat. Alright, well, let's get him down. Hoping for the land so we can play Tome. And then every card is a draw a card effect. And we can probably beat our opponent to it, because this is a pretty slow start for them. They do have the Field of the Dead. Elvish Rejuvenator, not going to stop me. I do need my 40% to pay off. Meh. Alright, well, let's just go with Gruul Spellbreaker then. With the haste, and I think we'll take the opportunity just to get rid of the blocker.
Let the blighters feel the
And get attacking. I'm not really playing into the Whatley's Raptor by putting the counters on, because I think the aggro is more important here. I have the ability to kill one more blocker and replay another Domri, so there's 7 points still on the line here. Heading towards my opponent's face. We'll see. If they're going to do like double blocker, then of course we're not really going to do too much, but playing to my outs. My outs is that I'm faster than my opponent. Temple of Mystery. So no Yarok at the very least. That's good. Yarok was probably going to be the big problem card. And a Tamio into a scoop. Alright. We did it, chat. We did it. We took a game against the Sultai Field of Dead deck. This is probably the deck that I expect to stick around post-rotation. We won. We did it. Too much for our opponent. Couldn't handle it. Alright, well. Let's have another game, I guess? Sure? Alrighty then, we got a one-lander, so we're not going to take one-landers, because we're better than that, chat. We're better than that. It is a good one-lander, but unacceptable. This one has no red in it, but I might not need it, because I got double hero. So we've got the two turns, at least, turn 2, turn 3, set up, so there's plenty of time to find red mana. We could even just Whatley's Raptor for just the tokens if we really wanted to. And double green on the Thrash is definitely viable, so any 2/2s, 1/1s that might get in the way, definitely going to be able to stop that. Probably not going to be able to do anything about a... I think we'll get rid of Domri here, right? Yeah. It's the only non-playable card in my hand. Not going to be able to do too much about a Llanowar Elves ramp, so hopefully we can dodge that. Gutter Bones. And we drew the card we bottomed. Shuffler is bugged. That's sarcasm. Guildmage's Forum. Interesting. An option for this deck. I definitely think you probably end up putting these in after rotation, since we do lose the check lands, because they're in Ixalan and Dominaria. So Guildmage's Forum probably comes in to a certain extent. Gonna take you two. You can't stop me. I'll do what I want. Let's play hero. And just hope that we get there. We're really not drawing very well. We're drawing the top end and no lands. What's our opponent playing? I would have thought, yeah, something like Mardu. Or, in this case, Rakdos. When it's blocked, deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Okay. Well, take some more damage. Another hero. I need a hero. I'm holding out for the hero. Here we go. Please give me a land. Just, at this point, any land. I just need to know that I can play past turn 2. There's red-black. Is it Mardu, though? Are we playing with white cards? This looked kind of like an aristocrat-style deck. Up until the point that this started happening. 2 damage to an opponent and one of my creatures. Ow. Yeah, I'm gonna take 6. Because next turn, I'm going to have to Thrash Threat the Gutter Bones, and then it'll make me 2 chump blockers for these 2 big bad boys. Hey, look at you! Aren't you welcome? Get on in here. Have a seat. Enjoy. I guess we're gonna go with the fight now. We don't really have to. Could wait on it. There's a reason to wait on it. Not particularly, but it's technically the correct thing to do. Since it doesn't allow me to deal any more damage, I'm just gonna do it on their turn. They might make a play that has their current board state in mind. This has Menace, which really sucks. When it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, it's +2/+2. Well, they might have played that thinking their Gutter Bones was good to sack. We just taught them that it isn't. Ain't no good round here. But we are still chump blocking with our 2/1/1s, so we're not really progressing our board all that much, unfortunately. I don't think I can afford to just take the 4 here, because they probably have like lightning strikes and things like that in their deck. Can't see why they wouldn't. So, yeah, how do we... I think we need like an untapped land so I don't have to shock myself. And then we can do like Domri into Raptor, that gets us 4 blockers, which is kind of nice. Ow. Drew a Spellbreaker instead. Okay. Well then. This isn't going well. I guess we go with the Spellbreaker. I suppose we do Domri actually, because it makes all the creatures a little bit thicker. Yeah, alright. I've sold myself.
We won't answer to other guilds.
Look at that, I got some bigger dudes. Let's see if that helps. It won't. Angrath, everything has Menace, and I am dead. Alright. Well, I feel like every single game we've lost, it's been down to like horrendous draws. I don't know if that's down to deck building, or if it's just down to me being unlucky. Excuse me? Okay. That works for me. Alright, no blocks. Not sure why I would.
No, I'm not finished with you. Not
I guess I could get rid of a Fire Wheeler. Oh my goodness, a well-timed land. It's not, but it's nice to think that it might be. Did they also not minus their Angrath? Interesting. Well, I can't really afford to attack the Angrath. Because if I do enough for lethal, then they probably have enough for lethal. I'm going to do it anyway, though. Because this matchup's feeling quite hopeless.
But the embers burn on.
Alright, we got 4 blockers to their 3 creatures, one with Menace. Another Forum. And another Gutter Bones tapped. Alright. Please give me a land. I'd love a land. All the more lands, the better. Alright. So. Gets to sacrifice. Could do the Gutter Bones if they want to. Yep. So, we're gonna block the Menacer with enough to menace him out of the game. And then chump the others. Take 1 off the Rakdos Roustabout. It's a thing. And do you have removal? Removal on either one of these two allows them to keep their Brawl Bash Ogre. They're just going to go with the Gutter Bones. Fair, I suppose. Alright. We draw a Shockland. Well, I am not shocking myself, but I will play the Huatli's Raptor for basically no value. Hanging on in there. I'm gonna submit 0, to be honest. I kind of feel like if I end up going with the proliferate on your creatures, it's not gonna work out for me very well. But I get to hit you for 4, I suppose. Dire Fleet Poisoner. And Gutter Bones. And Gutter Bones. And attack. Yeah. Chomp. Chomp. I could have actually blocked with a Watley's Raptor there and stopped the 1 damage pings constantly. That was definitely a punt. Alright. We'll get him next time. Well, let's swing with my Vigilant Creature, I guess. Might as well, right? They got a Death Toucher. It's fine, I'm happy to trade that off. If they're happy to trade it off. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Alright, we got you. He's done it. Not much of a trade, because we do get it back. And we can actually go with the Tome into Watley's Raptor to draw a card, which is pretty sweet. But again, Watley's Raptor not exactly presenting much of a power play here. 9 life you're at, eh? So, let's see. Is there any way I can kill you next turn? Let's chomp. Oh, trade. I've already lost life, so... Actually, no, these Gut Bones aren't coming back, because they have no mana. I think I'll just go with... block here, and... I think we just trade off a hero. This only brings back multicolored creatures. And I kind of want Marianne in the air. But I guess I might actually be forced to just trade off at this point. Yeah. Still got my blocker. Potential on the heroes. I think that is how it has to be. Alright, Tome. Multicolored creatures draw us cards, and then we'll go with the Zertar Goblin. I'm going to put a counter on this so that the Watley's Raptor, if it should so happen to be good enough, we'll actually get some value. I don't think we're stabilizing, but positive attitude, I guess. There's a Ogre, and we got some pretty nice blocks here, actually. Just double block here. Still chumping the Firewheeler, but now we got rid of the Menacing Ravager. And I'm suddenly liking where we're at. Let's go with... I think we need to do Night of Autumn life gain, but we can wait on that a little bit, I think. We're not really going to have too much of an opportunity. We want to find like a land off of these... off the Spellbreaker and the Night of Autumn so we can play the Watley's Raptor. Why it's tapping down all of my white is beyond me. I don't know why it wants to screw me like that. 1 white is fine, because we do have the Tome of the Guild Pact. I do need the red. I actually need to, like, do good things here. There we go. Put a counter on. Make some 1/1s, draw a card. Counters. I think we're going with the Night of Autumn. And I'm going to have to go with the life gain, because if they manage to haste something out, I'm in trouble. Alright. And suddenly, we're in a better spot than our opponent is. We've stabilized. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Vaughn. Pirating. Yeah, they need to work on their synergies a little bit. An interesting deck, for sure. But the synergies are a little bit off. This doesn't have any pirates. This doesn't make pirates. He is a pirate, but not a pirate tribal. Alright, from here, let's go with... I want to be able to kill the Firewheeler with something that doesn't already have a counter on it. So let's go with the Domri. Draw a card. Land for the turn is always nice. We will wait on it, though, because I can now go with... the Night of Autumn, kill the Firewheeler. Make some more 1/1s. Huatli's Raptor is god tier. Let's... we've only got one white source unless I draw one off of the guild pact here, so Domri's not going to make much difference. That's a Temple Garden. Is it worth shocking myself? Probably not. Let's just go with the Temple Garden. We can have some fighting going on. Let's do that. You fight you.
My wild beasts will
How we've stabilized is something for the scholars to decide. I don't really know how that happened, but here we are. Stabilizing. Keeping back plenty to stay alive. Did I actually have lethal? I'm not sure. I probably had lethal, right? Yeah, probably. Yeah, well. I don't know. I was on the back foot for so long. Leave me alone. I want to live. I want to make sure that happens. Alright, against our opponent's deck. Not sure how to beat it. In a way that we just didn't already do. Rian looked pretty good. For sure. Tome did some work, but I'm not sure if Tome's necessary. As is, I guess the Night of Autumn's also not necessary. From there, I guess that's maybe about it. I could bring in a Tristani. Pumps my dudes. Makes lots of dudes. They had lots of menace, so making more dudes for one creature is definitely something that I have my eyes on. I like the amount of removal we had. I liked the way that it worked. I think we'll just keep the Rien for removal spells and just try it like that, I guess. Alright then. Wow. What a hand. What a fantastic hand. This one's going in the trash. To the mulligan pile with you. Alright, we'll keep this one. This one's a bit slow, but it has some decent mana, I suppose. Let's go with Stomping Ground to the bottom. I think we'll be reet without it. I actually thought this was a Stomping Ground. It was a little bit obscured by my other cards. But doesn't really change my decision all that much. Let's just go with the Temple Garden tapped. Next turn, Sacred Foundry tapped, and then all of our check lands are untapped, which is pretty great. They're already all untapped, but you get my point. The Forum. Yeah, we barely saw any multicolored creatures for this to go off on as well. So I don't think we've got the most expert of deck builders on the opposite side of the table from us. But they have been playing quite a lot, because they've managed to get the winged kitty. So that's a thing. Alright, let's go with Night of Autumn, I guess. We don't really have anything to ramp into with Domri just yet, so I think I'll just go with the Night of Autumn. Get the counters on. Not block, but then Domri's ambush. So we're going to go Domri and then ambush. Next turn, which is pretty nice. Okay. Okay. Well then, that's gonna have to do it for today's video. It's a bit of a weird set of matchups, honestly. Only one of them was actually a tier list, and they scooped into game 2 because our deck was too good. But yeah, maybe I'll come back with this one another time, but I just don't have the time to keep recording matchups with this one, unfortunately. As much as I enjoyed it, it was a lot of fun. Mostly rotation proof, actually. The mana base is the only thing that's going to be checking out, and I think that the mana base might kill the deck without the check lands. We'll have to see. You could maybe make an argument for some of the scry lands, as well as the that gold land we were looking at earlier. I don't think it's gonna show me the gold land. The one my opponent was playing in their Rakdos deck. So it's all the way. Not gonna show me. Oh, I think they're in colourless, the gold stuff, because it's really weird. Guildmage's Forum, that one right there. This one does allow you to do some multicolored shenanigans and add mana of any colour, which is kind of nice. You could also maybe do like the Gateway Plaza, but again, you have to tap yourself down at the wrong time. So if you going to add these lands in, you're probably going to have to turn this into a more of a mid-range build, so like most of these 2-drops would probably have to go, because you won't be casting them on 2 very consistently. You definitely can't afford to put any colourless lands in. You'd probably end up putting the Evolving Wilds in though, because if you're going down the check lands, there's probably going to be more basics in, so thinning the deck and getting the basic that you need for whatever your hand looks like is probably better than nothing. But yeah, even the sideboard is rotation proof, the only thing that's really going. Sorcerer's Spyglass is being reprinted, so that's not going. The only thing that's really going is Blood Sun, but Scape Shift's going with it, so, you know, we'll have to see if Scape Shift really, or if Field of the Dead really gets better answers. This is definitely going to be a slot for that. I think Field of the Dead is probably going to be pretty powerful coming into the next set. We'll have to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Even though it wasn't the most competitive environment, it was certainly a fun environment though. And if you agree, hit that like button and subscribe as well for some more content in the future. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I release videos in the future. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.